Men like structure, they like routine, they like discipline, they like stability. So a lot of times they'll just go cheat and then come back. To the women specifically, what hurts more? He slept with another woman or he provided for another woman?
Damn.
Can I add a third option?
Sure.
He went to another woman for emotional support.
Dang. Okay.
You talking from a That's a good. I like that. That's a good one. All right, cool.
And I'm gonna say this because I think I saw another question that made me think of this. If he goes to someone else we've talked about how men and sex and like whatever you can find, like you will drop the standards, whatever, just to get that final result of what you're looking for. But one thing that men don't do often is look for emotional things. Like you in your friendships, oftentimes they're kind of surface level. Unfortunately, like
vulnerable.
You're not very vulnerable. So like if you are willing to be vulnerable with somebody else. Yes, sleeping with somebody else hurts. Financially, like that kind of depends on like what you have. Like if you provide for somebody else, but you have it, it's kind of like it wasn't hard for you to do that. It wasn't hard for you to sleep with somebody else, but it took a level of comfort for you to then lean on another woman instead of leaning on me. So I think that would be what would hurt me the most.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
What you think, Ty?
Is it working? I mean, I agree, but also I feel like there's multiple levels to that. With the sleeping with someone else, that's a big deal. But the providing, I mean, does he have a shared child with the other woman? Like, who is he providing for? Is it a family member or is it just like a random woman?
Like, if you found your man cash apped another girl like $500,
He paying her rent.
He's paying her rent.
Oh,
he
that
bought
wouldn't be
her
my
a
man.
bag.
Because why is he doing that?
But what hurts more? Is it the cheat? Like he slept with her, he paid the $500, or he paid for her rent or a bag or something like that, or the emotional support? Which one hurts the worst?
I don't know. I mean, in terms of like hurt, I would say the sleeping with someone else. But in terms of all the other stuff, I mean, I wouldn't agree with that. I feel like that's grounds for breakup.
Okay. All right.
I would consider leaving a man for emotionally going to somebody else that where he could have come to me for. Like, I think that the question is just like, why? I think whenever there is cheating, I think there is reasons behind everything. So you cheated on me because what? I wasn't providing enough sex. The sex that we were having wasn't good enough. You just want a different type of person, or are you like a sexual addict? Like, okay, what was the reason? Like, but emotionally, like, okay, what was the reason? Was I not being there for you enough? The way that I am there for you, is it not what you need? And I think that with heavy things, like going to someone when you're in a mental crisis, if you went to somebody else and leaned on them, I feel like you're saying that I'm not good enough for you, and like I wasn't the person that you thought of first when you were going through this. And by doing that, you're saying that this other person has more emotional weight than I do as your primary partner or your main partner or whatever. And like that could be enough for me to be like, I just can't trust you in general. Like if you would go to them to that extent, you'll do anything. Like you'll do all the things if you can also lean on them for support as well.
So why do y'all think men cheat?
I don't think it's all an emotional thing, like an emotional attachment to someone else. There can be so many reasons. Like there could be an instance where, let's say you're with someone and your boyfriend loses their job and they're just going through this whole thing with their mind. They're going through depression. They want to fill that void. They look for attention in other people and not in you, even though you're the one supporting them and you're the one with them their entire time. And so they cheat. They could cheat because they feel like they're just not fulfilled enough, like in their current relationship. So I think there are multiple layers to that. And sometimes it's not, I don't condone cheating, but I feel like you have to look at the reason why it's happening and then understand why. Because sometimes it's not just black and white.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, agreed. I think there's, of course, numerous reasons why people cheat, men cheat specifically. A man could cheat just because he's bored. Like it really does. And I think that unfortunately, this statement irks me a little bit, but I think there is some truth in it. It can literally just be a sexual thing. Like, I want to have sex and I want something different. It's not there. My partner has done nothing. Like, she is the perfect person, but I just want something else because I'm not mature enough to not do it. So, and like, once you have a person who you've tested the lines with a little bit and you've seen like if you can get away with it, like if you can skirt the line a little bit and be okay in the end, a guy will say whatever. Like, I'm gonna do it because I want to, and like I have faith that my girl's not gonna leave, so I'm going to cheat even though she's great.
I don't know. I feel like there's more to that than just them doing it.
I think so. I think men cheat because of disobedience, a lack of respect, or pure opportunity.
Disobedience.
So, okay.
This guy went straight.
Let me go straight for it. A lot of times as a man, it's just like men don't really ask for much. So the things that we ask for is just like, can we just get it?
Okay, so
like,
before, I don't want to cut you off. All right, so before we start about cheating, are we let's set the narrative of like, I guess, a good man, right? Because there are a lot of cases of, you know, a guy who was hypersexual.
Well, MLK cheated,
which is true.
A good man in some areas does not make someone a good man holistically. Just
yeah,
because MLK,
he's a good man just because he's a model figure for
But yeah, that's my point.
Which is true, right? I was saying that's the thing, but he do got a good statue. You know, he must be
we don't
doing
know his
this.
relationship though.
But no, truly, no facts.
Coretta was going through it. Coretta, she
facts. But I think like in your case, you're talking about like a man who has done his part, right? Not a guy who has a history of being hypersexual. Who, in those cases, sometimes because he has so many experience, he can just relapse to just wanting something different. I hadn't had the fair share. All those guys who have genuine curiosity, where maybe he didn't have a lot of options, but just because he's super curious to see, he might step out. You know, I don't think a lot of men outside of those kind of complexes are cheating. Because if you really wasn't talking to a lot of women, if you had one girlfriend your whole life or two, you didn't really have a variety for you to be thinking about the level of effort it takes for you to step out and cheat on somebody.
If you're a loser and you get money, what does that turn you into?
I mean, that's a different story because now you have bubbled up into the small subset of men that are at the top of the charts.
But that's my point. It's the opportunity.
But not that many men can bubble up that way. So for the ones that do, yes, you have those situations where the gump dude has the money now, and now he is in that situation. But on average, not that many men are in a position to be able to cheat like that.
I mean, they don't be committed. Like, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, don't be in a relationship.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's for all people, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but for the... Go ahead.
That's my thing is like, okay, women will say, well, why do men cheat? Like, if you're in an unhappy relationship, why do you not leave? And it's like a lot of times men like stability. So if I'm in a situation and I'm getting stability from my girl, right? And it may just be a one-off situation where it's like, this is easy for me to just go do this because maybe I'm unhappy here. I can just step off and do this. But I still have the stability of a household, or I still have the stability of a relationship. That's what men prefer. Men like structure. They like routine. They like discipline. They like stability. So a lot of times they'll just go cheat and then come back. Whereas when women cheat, it's a lot different. And that's why men are a lot more
So I don't think women
unforgiving.
cheat for the thrill.
They cheat for the thrill, but they like the guy when they cheat too. It's like you really liked him. Like, it's different. I
don't think on average women are like casually fucking just to throw it away.
No, you had to like him. Like, a guy can cheat and not know the girl's name, not know nothing about her. Like, a girl, she liked him. So it's a lot different, and it strikes guys a lot different when women cheat.
I mean, girls can have one-offs,
men are just as emotional. So, like, there are women who are not, they don't need to be attached to a guy to sleep with them. But also, like, there are men who are extremely emotional. And, like, they will, like, start to like a woman, and then, like, they'll go cheat because they like her, and that's someone they can confide in outside of you. Like, I feel like it goes both ways.
So you think women start to cheat because of the emotional reason first, or the physical reason?
It just depends. It depends.
Yeah, I think when women, the same reasons why.
Wait, so why do women cheat? Like, when women cheat, why do you think they do that?
I think on cheating on both sides, there's a lack of something. Sometimes I think there are some people who like literally just are insatiable and they just want everything. But I think most people are cheating because they are looking for something that they're not finding in their relationship. Like if I'm cheating as a woman, it's because you're not emotionally there for me. When I'm like asking you to do little small things, like you don't pay me any mind. When I am trying to have fun with you and I'm trying to feel sexy for you, like you're not giving me that reaction back that I'm looking for. But I see a man like that who is like pining after me and he's like thinking I'm the best thing on earth, and my partner over here is acting like I'm dust. So it's like there's a lack of something that I could find somewhere else. I'm not saying that that's right. Like no cheating is correct. Like whether it's a man doing it or a woman doing it because they're missing something, like there should be a level of communication there. But if it's not there, right, and you don't necessarily want to leave, because I think on both sides, like a woman, if she cheats, doesn't necessarily want to leave because she could love her man down. Like I want to be with this man. Like he's the father of my kids, my baby daddy, whatever. But if he is still, if you're lacking something, you want it for a moment. Like I want to at least feel this now, and this person's providing it, so I'm gonna cheat, which is unfortunate. But both sides.
Do y'all think all men cheat?
Yeah.
I do not.
Just to close the topic out. You said no?
Nope. My father was a great man. He has not cheated in 30 plus years, and I believe that's the fact. My parents have had a happy relationship. If it's not true, parents, I don't want to hear it.
All right.
Keep that to yourself.
Positivity.
Oh, you want my answer?
I'm saying, serious answer?
I mean, I don't think all men cheat like physically, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. There's other ways you can see as cheating.
See men cheating?
Yeah, like other than like physically cheating with someone.
Yeah, cheating might not have to be sex, right?
It doesn't always have to.
Different things differently.
The emotional part, yeah, that's
right. Like you go on a lunch coffee date with a girl. Some girl might feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah.
That work wife, work husband, that's a real thing.
Oh,
That's
That's a real thing.
All right, to close out what we've heard today, I'm gonna throw out the statistics again.
You're fine.
Sorry, I didn't pre-prep time. My bad.
50% of men have stopped approaching women. 63% of men are electively single, meaning that they don't want any relationship with women, whether that's marriage, a real relationship, a short-term relationship, situationship, etc. By 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless. And the last statistic is 1 in 3 men between 18 and 30 are virgins and or have not had sex in the last year. So I want closing thoughts from the group on, like, what's the solution? When you hear all of these things get rattled off, like, what's the solution to get men and women back together?
I don't know. I mean, so this is national statistics?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one big thing is social media that caused so many issues with just, I think back in the day, people used to be in marriages a long time. I get some may not have been the best, but their mentality was like, I'm staying in this for the long run.
Right.
But I just feel like the divorce rate has gotten higher and people not looking for significant others gotten higher. And I think social media plays into that because it starts giving you one hand expectations that don't exist.
Right.
And then second hand, like you may think that you have a social media presence that gets you to a certain status where you don't want to date a certain type of woman, or you're in a relationship but you start seeing other women like that look, I don't want to say better than your girlfriend, but that look in a way that you fantasize about to where it's like maybe I just want to be single. But then also I don't know if it's our generation that's prioritizing career over relationships. So I need to see what are the reasons why the statistics are what they are.
I would say that we need to stop looking at the big picture and look at yourself. Like everything has solutions. If you are not finding partners and like you're not the person going out there to look for the person you're trying to connect with, why is that? How can I become a better person on my own? And how can I not base my dating experience off the stats of the world? Of course, stats are stats, but I think if I am so like beholden to the stat of like, oh, there's a 3 out of 4 chance that I will not find a man, then I'm thinking that constantly while I'm going out in the dating world. And that I think is making my chances worse because I'm looking at the negatives and I'm always like trying to find like the pinpoints on where things could go wrong instead of looking at how can I make sure that I'm being my best self in every situation that I'm putting myself in, and how can I put my best foot forward while I'm out here searching for what I want, and how can I attract what is best for me and what I'm looking for. And if I'm not worried about the noise, if I'm not worried about the social media and like what people say that I should be acting like and what my man should be acting like and like what I want, like the standard, the typical things that should be going on, if I know who I am as a person and what I want and what I'm happy with, the noise doesn't matter. So just focus on what you want, and that'll be that.
Right.
I mean, as she said what I was going to say. I mean, but just to keep it short, I'm just going to say, like, I think it's a lot of our problems are could be fixed if we just started from the individual. And I think that if men and women sat down and reflected on themselves and said, how could I be the person that I want to attract, right? You would find that person, right? And if you worked on those skills, that character building, to be that guy or be that gal, then you'll attract who you are. And if we believe in that ideology, you will attract who you are, become more, and hopefully you'll put yourself in a position to do that. It's not the end all be all. Like, unfortunately, life is not fair. Shit happens. We live in a chaotic world, so everyone's not gonna win. But you can get closer to that if you just put the effort in to become better. So I just think that that's a good start, for sure.
I will say men are underperforming and women are delusional. My typical spiel.
That's a good way to just sum it up. Yeah. We're all fucked up.
I think from the women's standpoint, they don't feel like women have a lot of options in terms of high quality men. So I would say men need to work to become physically fit, work to get your money up as high as you can, work to get a personality, charisma, charm, work to get your social status up. Like, become something that you can look in the mirror and be like, oh, if I was a woman, I would want me. Like be desirable.
Yeah.
As a woman, I think women need to have more realistic dating standards. I think when you hear the statistics that I rattle off about financial standards and height standards and things like this, it's a probability game. So understand that, like, want what you want, but like buy what you can afford. If you can't compete in the market to get a man of a certain height or a man of a certain financial status, then, play on the other side of the field. So I think women need to be more realistic of like what's actually out there and work with a man and be more accommodating to where men are until men can get to a certain point.
Are you saying that women have too high of standards?
Yes.
I missed the whole beginning, so I'm not even going to get into that.
Yeah.
But all right, we gotta close out. So appreciate y'all, and this is what they won't tell you.
Yes, sir.